Hello, welcome to Tuesday's Best Practice. I'm Julianne Condia. It's so fun that you are on. For those of you who are doing the team challenge, I hope you're having a blast. I've just been trying to keep up with my points, and I'm so excited because I've also, people who are not on my team, I'm like, oh, they for sure are adding to their team. That's exciting. After this, I'm going to do a check-in, and you can win some more points for your team, or earn, I should say, more points for your team. I'm super stoked. So Tuesday best practices are this. It's a coach sharing a best practice. It could be something lifestyle, it could be business. It's usually geared more towards business. So I have a few things for you today, and what I want you to do is take notes, and I want you to sit there and think, why not me? I just feel like this business is so simple. This business is built on self-care and other people, helping other people with self-care, and it's a win-win. It's supportive, it's incredible. I have some amazing stories to share with you today, but this best practice is going to be from morning routine to girl code to how do you invite the team, and I feel like the team is our best offer. So if you could log out of Facebook, put your phone away, and just be here on this call present, that would be everything. For girl code, this book I've read before. How many of you enjoyed the first chapter? Are you like, okay, I see why Julianne picked this. I needed that, because I asked you 2 questions today. The questions were, what does your world look like with possibility? Has anyone ever asked you that? I was thinking about that, and I'm like, man, I just feel like in this world of coaching, these are the things that we talk about. Like, what do you see? What is your vision? Like, what limitations do you have? How can we work through that? What do you see more for your life? What possibilities do you see for your life? When I ask that question, I think there's something really inspiring about this. One, sometimes we don't know what to post on social media, and simply going through people's responses are social media posts. Whatever you posted, and then what other people posted. So for example, on my team today, we were asked, what does possibility look like for us? And for me, I've never been asked that question. That's not something I've really thought about before, but I'm so glad I'm surrounding myself with people who ask those types of questions. Like, that's a social media post, right? But as I was reading this, Kelly Johnson said, my world looks like a world of positivity and financial freedom that is obtained by sharing something I love. My world looks debt-free, financial freedom. Money shouldn't be my stressor. Anyone identify with that? Be like, money should not be something I'm stressed out about. My world looks brighter, happier, and bigger. My world looks endless and is full of support, encouragement, and achievement. My world looks like financial freedom and endless opportunity. My world looks happy and not controlled by anxiety. It looks like freedom. My world looks full of possibilities and positivity. Possibility looks like financial freedom and no more being weighed down by crippling debt. I have choices. My world looks like freedom. I'm home full time with my daughter, working my business. Debt-free, no time stress, paying for things in cash, donating my time and money. By the way, Nikki, Sarah Blakely, who is the self-made billionaire, she said, with more money, people ask her all the time, an interview with Lewis House recently. He said, so what is it like to be a billionaire? Like, what is it like to have that money? And she said, honestly, I think that you are the same person before, but just more of it. So if you were kind before you had money, when you get money, you'll just be more kind. Like, if you look at money with a good relationship, when you get more money, you'll have a better relationship with money. Isn't that a powerful thing? I think that there are some people that have a lot of money that are scared of it and they don't want to lose it, and they play small and they aren't generous with it, right? Because their relationship is probably poor with it. I always think I need to always work on myself now for who I want to be in the future. My world looks like freedom, choices, no limitations, incredible relationships, and adventure. My world looks like financial freedom, working from home, and being in pickup line at my kid's school. Okay, like, is that not a specific painted picture? So not only could you turn this into a social media post by just that simple question, I think also you could have a lot of encouragement with where you are on this team by reading the answers of coaches and what possibility looks like for them. I was reading these answers and I'm like, this is who I want to spend time with. They are people who are thinking about possibility, thinking about limitless potential, thinking about financial freedom, talking about impact. That is so powerful. So that is something I'm going to encourage you to do, is go make a post after this of what does on my team, a team I'm a part of, a team that we don't just work on fitness and nutrition, but a team that we just talked about possibility, knowing that there's more possibility out there for me because I have a business, and just taking that ownership. I thought that was really, really powerful. Then another question I asked today, by the way, this best practice, I just feel like in the last 5.5 years of building my yes life, building more choices in my life, I've had to really think about these types of questions. So her success is not your failure. How does that speak to you? Do you know how often I need to remind myself of that? Because we grow up in a conventional world where we feel like only the few succeed. And so it's hard to start this business and think different than that. Sometimes we think we don't have a shot, or that we joined too late. It doesn't work like that. You have to go against all that you know, right? Isn't there one class valedictorian? Isn't there only a few that get into certain schools? That's not this. And I want to remind you of that. Her success is not your failure. When you see I get deleted on Facebook all the time. And I wonder that. I wonder if I'm being deleted. One, I think it's healthy to delete people. I'm just going to say that's a best practice. I think if you find yourself being angry, insecure, comparing, and not filled up by your feed, it's time to make some boundaries. I delete, block, hide, snooze profiles all the time. Why? My mental sanity, my mental health. However, I wonder if I get deleted all the time because people think that my success reminds them of a failure that they feel like they're having, which I don't think is true, but they may. I don't know if that's true. Some things that I highlighted in my book today, which was like the whole book. This is the highlight of my book, you guys. From before, it was pink, and then blue is from this time, and I highlighted way more things, but I wanted to share what I underlined today. I thought it was powerful. We get to design lives for ourselves that allow us freedom and creativity. Did you know that money is everywhere? You see people making money everywhere, but do you see some people that hate their jobs? Like, think about the grocery store. Do you think that everyone at the grocery store who works there loves their job? Like, super passionate about it? Like, this is my life's calling. I get, like, maybe, but do you think everybody feels that way? Or do you see some people on their phone or having side conversations or look like they just want to get out of there? That's because they're not able to be creative. I think that being creative in your job is everything. And I love that this business allows us to be creative with how we build relationships, creative with how we post on social media and our story, allows us to be creative with leadership in all different ways, right? Many of my own clients struggle with deep-rooted issues like fear, insecurity, and a scarcity mindset. A general feeling that there is not enough money or opportunity, leading them to feel limited and helpless in terms of making positive changes in their life and business. Do you think that fitness is only for the few? No. So can we think about that with money? It's not for the few. It's for whoever chooses to do that. I swear, the people who say, I don't really want to build this business, I don't want to be a coach, I'm like, no, they're afraid. They're afraid. Because the impact, the creativity, the more choices. Some people say, oh, I don't need the money. I'm like, okay, like, so you don't need the money, but like, are you able to, in your life right now, pay for first class tickets for all your family members to come visit you? Sometimes we cap our dreams and cap possibility at comfort, where I'm thinking, man, that would be pretty rad. Also, it'd be pretty rad at Christmas time to like buy trips for our family and surprise them with experiences. Like, that's pretty rad and limitless. Like, I start to think beyond these things that like we get really comfortable with our finances. Like, do you have 2 years worth of savings of emergency fund? Not just like your savings, but emergency fund. No? Okay, I believe that you can have more. Like, that's just kind of how I think with this business of like, it's limitless. I believe that. There are absolutely no limits on what you can achieve. That's something to write down right now. Maybe that's something you highlighted in your book, but I feel like you need to write it down, and then you need to like write it down every day, and you need to make a post about it. Something I'm learning about myself is that there are absolutely no limits to what I can achieve. Like, that's a social media post. I've been talking to some coaches who are like, I just don't know what to post. That's something you can post about and then talk about, right? I'm learning there's absolutely no limits. Before, I thought there were limits. I thought that you could only make money from a degree. So here I am sitting in my classroom going, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this for the rest of my life? I'm screwed. And then I found out, actually, there's abundance and there's money everywhere. And I love this. I can actually not use my degree and make more money and have more passion and feel less stressed. That's pretty remarkable. Your possibilities are truly endless, and you have the power to create the life and business of your dreams. You must find the place inside you of where everything is possible. What I love about this business is that there's no overhead. I love that we have a team of people putting everything together for us. All we get to do is build relationships and give the tools to people that we don't have to send out from our home, that we don't have to pay for shipping ourselves to give them the materials. We don't have to come up with the materials. I was talking to a friend yesterday where she was like, I feel like if I start posting, the professionals in my life that are dietitians and fit pros are going to look at me and think, who is she to be building a business on fitness and you never went to school for that? And I'm like, oh, let me just tell you, someone did say that to me once and I survived it. They said I shouldn't be doing this because I didn't go to school for this. They were trying to disqualify me. However, I qualified myself. Why? I'm good with people. I care about people. I want to champion other people. And I was just telling someone this today, a coach who just shared her transformation. I'm going to share it in a little bit. I said, no one can take away your feelings and your results from coaching. So she just posted her first transformation picture. And that is what I reminded her. She's hit send and she's like, I hit send. And I was like, okay, I just want to tell you this one thing. No one can take away how you feel about this. If someone says, oh, you're doing Beachbody, oh, you're doing that, isn't that expensive? Oh, come on. Does that even work? No one can take away how you feel about this. How many of you see a different side of this than maybe some other people in your life? Here we are talking about abundance. We're talking about possibility. We're talking about limitless potential. We're talking about there's no scarcity. Isn't that fun to talk about? Isn't that encouraging to talk about? Someone might be grouping you up to what they think this is, but if you know what it really is, does it even really matter what they say? So many and so often, people base everything that they do based on the feelings of other people. They live their life based on how someone else feels. That is not a form of self-love. Self-love is being able to feel it yourself, and then people supporting you in life is just an additional bonus. But it shouldn't be how and why you choose to do things based on other people. You must find the place inside of you where everything is possible. You were put on this earth with a unique voice. Lindsay, I saw that you wrote that, talent and gift that nobody else has or ever will possess. I thought I saw what you wrote about that. That you and your voice makes all the difference. That is something that I need to remind myself of, because the only thing that's going to make you different in Beachbody, I have no idea where my little camera went, is you. It's a profound thought to think about that. You are the only person. You who likes Cheez-Its. You, right, who wears mismatched socks. You who's obsessed with your dog where people probably think it's a little bit creepy and weird. You who chose not to find out the sex of your baby. You who grew up in a broken household. You, right, decided to quit your job mid-year and people judged you hardcore for that. You who hated fitness. You who didn't go to school for fitness. You who got a college rejection letter. You who were held back in school and you felt so dumb. You who failed a lot of tests. You who had a boy break up with her because he said he didn't want to get a divorce like your parents. Right? You who decided to find her voice. That's my story. That's what makes me unique in this, is that I'm just someone who is just trying at life, sharing it the way that I want to share it. Whatever your gift is, nobody can do it quite like you. I may not be super mega talented with Instagram, but I think I can read people well. I think I know how to empower people, encourage people, champion other people. I have a way of sharing my story. I'm blunt, I'm bold, I'm straight up. I'll tell you the truth. I value honesty. I value integrity. I'm a leaper. I love just going for it. That's my gift in this. But your gift might be compassion, right? Your gift might be gifts. I'm not very good with gifts. Your gift might be organization. Your gift might be creative date nights. Nobody can replicate the genius you possess. I also highlighted this. I want you to think big. I want you to forget the small talk, the small people, and the small thoughts. On this journey, people are going to think that they know how to live your life better than you do. How many of you have ever thought that? I've learned that about motherhood. Some people know how to mother Faye better than me. And I just have got to remember that's them. This is me. I love her. I'm trying my best. What you remind yourself is that other people's version of reality is just that, their version. It is reflective of their experiences, their fears, and their set of beliefs. People who project stuff onto you are insecure if they're being negative. When I moved to California, I had a family member said, I would never do that. It's way too expensive. They're projecting their fear of California being expensive on me. I'm so grateful I didn't listen. I've met the best people. I had my baby here. We got Wyatt. We've met an incredible group of people that would not be in my life if we chose to not move here, right? I'm so glad I didn't listen to that small talk. I just want you to know, as you are on Happy and Fit, whether you're new or you've been here for a while, we think big, we think bold, and we also encourage, and we celebrate, and we uplift, and that is why I love this team so much. You also must know that the universe is more abundant than you can imagine. So my motto lately, something I've been repeating always, is I'm saying yes to abundance. And let me tell you what's happened since then. I'm saying yes to abundance. By saying yes to abundance, someone messaged us and they said, hey, would you take our third row Packer seats? They're probably over $1,000 tickets. We can't go. I don't want anything for them. I just want you to take a picture and enjoy and send me the picture. Sure. Yes, we'll go. We're saying yes to abundance. We got $10 Hamilton tickets. Those are usually like over $150. $10. Pretty rad. The other day, oh my gosh, my allergies. Hold on. Eric was hanging out with a friend. We've been saying yes to abundance. He was hanging out with a friend. Eric bought lunch like he usually does. And that's like our favorite love language, is buying people's lunch and stuff like that. When we just love it when people hang out with us. He looked at his Venmo and his friend gave him $200. And Eric was like, Julianne, you've got to look at this. Like, I don't understand. And it said, Merry Christmas, happy birthday, and thank you for being a great friend. We were like, what? And then wouldn't you know this? This is wild. We had a family member that needed some financial help, and guess how much money they needed? $198. And we were like, yeah, like this is what we need to do. It's right. You help family. That's just what you do. It was pretty crazy. We've been saying yes to abundance. Something happened with our business. Basically, whoever you signed up with, right? Your sponsor is there. That's not the case for me. And I've gone on this journey. I pretty much, Happy and Fit just started with me, and there wasn't a lot of help outside of that. And recently someone placed an additional CBC last week in my organization, and I was very confused by it. I told her not to do it. I told her it wasn't a smart move in a nice way. And she said, I need to do this. And Eric said, aren't you saying yes to abundance? Because I was trying to tell her no. I was like, no, like legitimately don't do that. And Eric's like, you're saying yes to abundance, Julianne. And I'm like, yeah, I am. Yes, I am. After 5.5 years, that felt very good. to say yes to that, even though I wanted to say no, and I did say no. But I just feel like abundance is everywhere. I've said hardworking women flow freely to me. When I'm feeling stuck in my business or scared in my business or nervous in my business, hardworking women flow freely to me. People who I'm meant to work with flow freely to me. There's an abundant amount of hardworking women who want to make a transformation, because sometimes you can get a lot of no's. There are people who aren't ready, or they're just really believing their reasons of why they can't. And I swear you not, like, does that even make sense? I don't even know. But I said hardworking women flow freely to me. And someone messaged me and they're like, hey, I want to get started and I just want to go all in. And I'm like, what? This is a joke. Mindset is everything. Belief is even there, and it's more. So abundance, I'm saying yes to abundance. I hope that you say yes to abundance. 2020 is your year if you want it to be your year. And I just feel like it has been a very powerful last few weeks and months to be able to say yes to abundance in that way. All right, as we get started, I want to talk to you about inviting, and I want to show you something. So I'm going to share my screen here, and this is Candace, and she is one who came to me after I was saying hardworking women flow freely to me, and she said, hey, you're drinking this shake. I want to know more about it. I'm like, how have you not heard of Shakeology? It's amazing. And she's like, I really want to try it. And then we were talking, and she's done CrossFit before. And she's like, she's a firefighter with her husband, which I think is pretty rad. And she came to me and I said, you know, the best option is to do a challenge pack. And she's like, okay, I'm going to do 6 weeks of the work. And I'm like, you go, girl. Like, you go, girl. And I said, I would love for you to join our team. And she's like, give me a month. Give me a month, and then I'll come back to you. And so as we were messaging throughout her 6 weeks and in first month, she had lost 10 pounds with doing 6 weeks of the work, really loving Shakeology. And she's like, she came back to me and she said, Julianne, I really want to join the team and I really want to get Shakeology for 25% off. I'm like, that's awesome. And I said, did you do a before picture and an after? And I put it together. And she came to me and she's like, and I said, I really encourage you to post on your social media. And she's like, okay. And so she came to me and I was like, let's put something together. This is all the things that she told me, and I helped her put it together in a post. I've been so excited to share my experience, but also a little nervous at the same time. How many of you have ever felt nervous to share something? So I told her, I said, honor your feelings. If you are feeling nervous, talk about it. Because when you do, it holds no power over you. So share your excitement, share your nerves, and it's just going to make you even more relatable, because other people just try to pretend like they're not nervous, but then they are. And I thought that was so good that she did. A few months ago, I was on the search for adding better quality nutrients to my daily life. I found something that I could implement into my life, and I made the decision to follow through. On top of that, Joel and I decided to do a workout program for 6 weeks from home. We love CrossFit, but our schedules were making it difficult to stay consistent with getting to the gym. We stuck to it despite being busy and it being the holiday season. I lost 10 pounds and Joel lost 16 pounds, and we just feel stronger and more toned. I also didn't realize how much this would bring Joel and I together. We finally found a program we both absolutely love, and it's the best thing ever, working out and pushing each other to our very best. I love that this journey is simple. Simple is what I need with our type of schedule. I'm excited to keep going because I feel great. We finished our 6-week program and love it so much we did it again 2 days later. If you're wanting to make a 2020 your year of fitness and health, I'd love to do this together. Can you guys please look at this? Look at the results. I was like cheering and so excited, but then look at the people who supported her. Is that not amazing? I said to her when she messaged me and she's like, I hit send, this is what I said to her. I said, no one can take away your results and how you feel, one. And then I said, Candace, you are going to inspire someone today, even if they don't ever click like on your photo. Because you're choosing to be brave, right? Then this is what I need to show you. So today I asked a question. What has been the biggest reward from joining the team? My self-confidence has gone up so much, and just knowing I have a group of people here to keep me living a healthy lifestyle and make healthier choices is amazing. That's her invite. Sometimes, this is a point to this, sometimes when we are sharing our social media, we want to give all the facts, give all the information, and sell the products. Hear me when I say this. What you love the most is the easiest to sell. Can you write that down? What you love the most is the easiest to sell. I love BOD. I love the team more. I think Shakeology is legit. I love the team more. I love 6 weeks of the work, but I love our book club more. Why? Because in life, I struggle more with my mindset than anything else. And this journey has helped my mindset grow. So as I looked at this and as people were joining, again, I don't ask questions to just shoot shit. I ask questions because it helps me become a better leader, it gets me more connected to the team, and it helps me have ideas of posting. Heather said, making all of the new connections from women and men across the country. So Heather, would you have ever done that, made connections across the country with people if you hadn't joined this team? That is something you talk about, right? Lisa said self-love and friends. I can just read that, self-love. How many women do not have self-love? Lisa just wrote here, my biggest reward from joining the team. She's lost weight and she has a transformation. I've seen it, I know it. She works hard for it. Self-love is such a gift that a gym couldn't have given her. It's the community and mindset that we have here, right? Amber said, energy, confidence, and friendships. Amber, it's hard to make friends as moms sometimes. Sometimes we feel like the only friends we can make are our kids' parents. I love that we don't have to do that. I love that we get to choose our friends as adults. And I love that the friends we get to choose have the same mindset and lifestyle and vision, and they're going somewhere in life. I love that. That's something to talk about. Angie said accountability. And think about that, Angie, too. Like, what kind of accountability? Accountability outside of fitness and nutrition, accountability to think better, accountability for a stronger morning routine. What kind of accountability? That's your invite. So when someone says, hey, can you tell me more about what you're doing? You talk about the accountability, right? Erica said, learning self-care. That's powerful. So my friend Corey has been inviting to the team, right? And I was like, Corey, this is what you use. Why? What you love the most is the easiest to sell. I think our greatest advantage as Beachbody coaches on this team is our team. I think Happy&Fit or whatever group you're part of through this organization, that is what you sell over BOD and Shakeology. Their entrance fee to your community is a product. But sometimes we get so focused on the products that we lose people. People are going to join you based on how you feel and how you make them feel. So for example, if someone comes to me and they're like, hey, Julianne, I want more information, I say this. They're like, I got off track during the holidays and I feel like crap. I'll say, I just want to honor and acknowledge that you are taking action, and I love working with action takers. I think it is so cool that you're doing that and messaging me, because that is who I want to work with, are people who aren't just talking the talk, but they're willing to walk the walk. This business is built on relationships. We need to coach the people, right? Not the products. A lot of people say, oh, I can't do what you do. No, I think you do a great job cheering for people. I think you don't know how to cheer for yourself. And that is why you need this team. Any of us, any of you can build a 6-figure above business if you realize this. What do you love the most, and why did you say yes to this, and how has life changed? I don't care if you've lost 25 pounds, I guarantee that is not your win. I've lost 35 with this. I'm on my way postpartum again. That's not my win in this. My win isn't my self-care routine in the morning. My win in this is I have self-love like Lisa. I have drive and I see limitless potential. I'm obsessed with that idea. I love that I have choices in life, right? How to have an invitation without all the information. How do you have an invitation without all the information? My friend Danny says this. She does not answer questions people don't ask. The more that we say, the more we create hesitation and objections. She just asks the questions that are being asked, or she answers them. So for example, lead with the invitation and follow up with the information. Can you write that down? Lead with the invitation and follow up with the information. So for example, why did you think of this person? What's in it for them? What do you love about the team that they can relate to? And I'll break this down in a second. And what are some objections that they may have? I love that you are a teacher who loves fitness. I would love to see you get paid for that hobby. Because why? We get to give the gift of fitness. We get to build a business with fitness, right? I love that I've learned self-care on this journey. I love that I'm held accountable on this journey. I love that I've made friendship on this journey. I love that I don't have to do my fitness alone on this journey. What's in it for them? Because it's what's in it for you, right? Whatever you wrote on that in the team page. You can work this in your teacher schedule. What are teachers going to say? I'm what? I'm too busy. You can work this with your teacher schedule. Why? Because it's meaningful work with flexible hours. It's meaningful work with flexible hours. I love that. How many people in life are doing meaningful work and massively underpaid for it? Or how many people are getting a lot of money but not having meaningful work? I love that this is meaningful work with flexible hours with a whole hell of a lot of potential. That is kick-ass, my friends. That is amazing, right? It is so, so good. And then you deliver the information based on their questions. If they say, yeah, let's get started, then we get them ready for a challenge pack. But if they don't say, if they say, can I have all the ingredients of Shakeology? Great. But if they are not asking for all the ingredients of Shakeology, why are we giving it to them? Right? It's too much. They're not asking for that. They trust you. Why? You. They trust why you're doing it and what it's done for you. This is a great question to ask someone if you don't know where to go next, that in between. Some of you ask about this all the time. I have no problem making the invite and then what, right? What would you need to know to make this decision? What do you need to know right now to make the decision? Do you want to know who that was for Morgan Schaefer and what that was? Do you want to know Morgan Schaefer's question when I asked that? She says, do I have to lead those Zooms that you do? And I go, did not see that going there. I said, no. She's like, all right, I'm signing up tonight. She did not want to do it. She did not want to lead these calls. That's all I asked her. I had been inviting and following up and following up. I did this with someone today. I said, what is it? Like, what do you need? And she's like, I honestly just don't have money right now. I was like, okay, we're going to make a plan for this. Do you think someone in your life could help support this? Right? Or can you save up in the next 3 months and commit to this? I truly believe you need this. I would love to see you get paid for that hobby. How many people are doing fitness and not getting paid for it? But what I love about this and your edge in this is the team and the community. It's going to elevate your mindset. It's going to elevate your life. That's how I feel about this. With inviting, so with Candace, so my proposition for you all is this. I want you to think strategically about your social media and not just, hey, checking in with my fitness, but I want you to write meaningful posts that have to do with the prompts that I'm writing in Happy and Fit. They're powerful questions. I love that we talk about potential. I love that we talk about limitless. My little camera here is ridiculous. I love that there's limitless potential. I love that we're talking about ways I can dream bigger. I love that we talk about positive things. I love that I have friendship and fitness, right? I love that my team is doing a book club and we're talking about how many of you guys, I used to be the jealous girl. No one wants to walk into a room and say, hey, I'm the jealous girl, nice to meet you. Like, we hide that. We hide it and we do not expose it because it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to be that person. And so when you start to talk about it, it loses its power on you, but then you relate to other people. Being a part of a team who champions each other, I'm learning that there isn't a scarcity in success. I'm learning that other people's wins aren't my failures. I've hit elite 3 times in a row and didn't hit this last year. I read Built to Last, changed my whole mindset, all these things, whatever. But a piece of me was like, man, am I not credible anymore? That's a thought that went through my head. Am I not successful anymore because I don't have that title? That's a thought that went through my head. It's terrible thinking, and my brain searches for the answer for that, of thinking, are you irrelevant now because that didn't happen? And then obviously the training that I've had and the personal development that I've had, I was like, no, that's all crap. That doesn't mean anything. But I really thought that. And so making a post about that, and then other people are like, thank you for making a post about that. I've thought about that before. I'm just really honoring those thoughts that I have. I've talked about, hey, naturally I'm a jealous person and it doesn't feel good, but what I'm thankful for is I'm on this journey to realize that other people's success is not my failure, that I'm not behind in life. Sarah, I saw your post. I saw what you wrote for chapter 1 of, like, sometimes we think like if we're not by this age and we haven't hit that mark yet that we're automatically losing. Do you know how many people are not joining us because they feel like they've already lost before they've even said yes to this? They feel like they've already lost. They feel like they can't keep up. I saw some other answers in there that said, I need to stop comparing where I am right now to someone else's chapter 10. Your start right now is different. I have skin in the game. I've been in this for 5.5 years and I have not taken my foot off the gas. That's going to look different, but can you trust with time and patience that you'll get to wherever it is that you need to go? But the thing is that we can't cut corners. Why? We learn through that. We learn going the distance. Every inch matters. Everything adds up. I've talked about how it's not fun to be jealous. And I've learned to champion other women to bring them into my circle. And now I've trained and programmed my brain that that's really how I feel. Right? I used to think that money was hard to come by. It was just, life was always meaningful if it was a struggle. Why? I grew up really poor. I grew up in a quote unquote, what everyone else labeled me as, is a broken household. My mom slept on a love seat as a child so I could have my own bedroom and have a normal looking childhood. That's not normal. But it's a piece of my story that I used to be very embarrassed by. And then now I just put it out there because it doesn't have power over me. Getting a college rejection letter really sucks. But now looking back, I love that you guys, this business doesn't discriminate. This business pays people based on their work ethic and what they put in. It's a delay result business, but you've got to trust that the more work you put in yourself, the more you win. That I have found other ways of payment in this business. Reading your answers was my payment today. When I first started this journey, there was a question yesterday, and I think it's really important for all of you to hear. Amara, I think it was you. You said, how did you do this with teaching? And I was like, that's such a great question. This is my answer. I was always 2 feet in. I didn't see, there's this whole idea of I'm going to try something. Instead, I was training for something. Training versus trying. And that's the difference. So I was 2 feet in as a teacher, so I treated this like a job. What do I mean by that? Just like in your challenge group where you're like, I need to get on this call because I'll get points for my challenge. 5.5 years ago, we didn't have a challenge for points. I was just like, that Zoom's going to add up to making 6 figures in this business one day. Having my Shakeology every day instead of every other day or every other month is going to change my gut health, and it's going to change my body, and it's going to heal my body, and it's going to help me. It's going to add up because it's a multivitamin, and it did. Working out every time I push play, even though I don't want to because it's discipline over motivation, it's going to transform my body. And then also, if I can get a before and after picture, my business is going to blow up. That's what I thought. And I was right. My business has been built off of my journey of results. The journey of results. The cool part is when I post a transformation, everybody saw my 100 workouts of Morning Meltdown 100. What's really cool is when I'm about to post my before and after of 6 weeks of the work, everyone saw me do 6 weeks of the work. What's really cool about this is being 5.5 years in, I've always posted a transformation because I treated it like it was my job. And you know what the benefit of what that was? I could walk into my closet and any pair of jeans would fit. You know what's really cool about that? Is anytime I went to a dressing room, I wouldn't cry anymore. You know what's really awesome about that? Instead of going out on the weekends, I chose to work my business instead. Do you know what's really cool about that? When I was so miserable at my job thinking, how the hell am I going to do this? All of a sudden I realized that my Beachbody income was matching my teaching income, and I had the choice to leave. That was rad. But it's because I jumped on a Zoom, not to get points necessarily, but because it added up. I trusted this compound effect. And then what's even cooler about that is that I knew that it didn't play favorites. This business does not play favorites. Fitness does not play favorites. Can you think of it the same way? It doesn't play favorites. We've been molded to think that that's how life plays out. And that's small thinking. When you enter into a team like this, we think about big things. You're going to be pushing against these thoughts that you've been ingrained with your whole life. There's scarcity. There's not enough room. Her success is my failure. I'll never be able to do it. Your brain will look for those answers and answer them. But when you get on each call, you'll start to realize your potential. When you connect and lean into the team like you are on the challenge, you're like, these people are awesome and they're real. I think like Eric, when he went to Summit for the first time, he's like, these people are actually real. Like, that's actually really cool. You guys are doing real things. Like they're people just across the country, just like you, right? They're real. But when I had people doubt me, I realized that they couldn't take away how I felt about this. When people said, are you really going to do that? Are you like Shakeology really? And I'm like, yeah, I'm really regular and I feel really good because I did it. I didn't base my actions based on the approval of others. I had to be my biggest advocate in this business. So here's Candace, right? She chose to do 6 weeks of the work. She chose to get results with it. She chose to sign up as a coach. I encouraged her, I could influence her for sure, but she had to make the action to hit send. I'm sure that was scary. And she even messaged me going, oh my gosh. And I'm like, you are going to inspire someone today. You're inspiring me today. And that's powerful. So then when Candace has those likes, and not everyone's likes will look the same, right? I get some posts that don't have that traction. However, it's not about that. Sometimes we post to get the approval. I just post to share my story. I don't post to get likes or try to please an audience. I post because I'm just sharing my story, and I know consistency builds this business. And it's built my self-care journey. It keeps me accountable. I don't need everything to look a certain way for someone else. I don't need to convince people this is real. If I just live it out, it is real. And I'm not going anywhere. And I'll be the most reliable person anyone would see on my feed. I'm the most reliable person during the holidays. I'm the most reliable person when everyone else has quit. I'm the most reliable person when things get hard. I am my biggest advocate in this, and that's my superpower. And I don't post for the approval. I don't post for what? But sometimes you will get likes and people to message you. And I've had people say they've been watching me for years. I've had people even say, what is it that you do? And I'm like, how do you not know? It's true. That's why I'm consistent with it. So with Candace, what I said to her, I said, hey, all those people who are liking your post, send them this. Hey, thank you so much for showing love on my post. I was so nervous to post that, but I've been so proud of my journey. It really encourages me that you're encouraging me. Hey, if you want to make 2020 a year like this, like I've had, I would love to help you. That's her invite. She's leaning with her journey, her success, her emotion, right? And that's how she invites. Sometimes we're like, oh my gosh, I need to know everything about Shakeology and everything about bod and everything about this, and we're getting it twisted. We lead with our story. We lead with that emotion. I was nervous to post this. Anyone who's following your story, if you're brave enough to share it on Instagram, right? Hey, thanks for watching my story. I really appreciate it. It keeps me accountable, but it also keeps me encouraged to know that you're watching. I would love for you to do this with me. But guess what? Regardless if they answer you or not, regardless if they say yes or no or not, you still show up. Why? This is transforming your whole life. You're seeing more potential than you ever did before. I was the person who thought I was locked in. There was a cap, a ceiling. I just went to school for this. I'm in this. This is not what I thought. Why am I so exhausted and burnt out? Why is my self-care and why do I have self-hatred for how I look? Why do I not feel good and confident? Why am I putting on a show that I am? Why am I lost? It's because I was doing everything else besides taking care of myself. And then when I became my biggest advocate, everything else aligned with that. I became a better teacher. I was dating Eric at the time, girlfriend, a better friend. I shifted my priorities. I put up boundaries. I started treating myself better. And I started having more confidence in my vision and my future because I was scared. And I thought that life was always meant to be paycheck to paycheck. And friend, if you're on here thinking that that's how life always is, it's not meant to be that way. And I hope that you see this as an opportunity to get out of that. But in order to do that, you've got to live based on how this makes you feel. And if you're looking at invites are hard, Success Club is hard, I'm overwhelmed, all these things, it's going to create a fear of inaction. But if you look at it, and I get super inspired by reading your stories. That's why I love reading your chapter 1 takeaways. And I'm like, man, so many people wrote financial freedom on there. So as a leader and as a mentor, I'm like, I've got to bring it this year. You have no idea how much of my vision is to help every person on Happy and Fit experience that. They've got to be willing to put in the work, but I'll bring it. I'll answer your questions. I'll help you. I'll encourage you. I'll show up every day. I will never quit, just knowing that this opportunity could transform your finances. Like there's just something about that in my gut and in my heart that I'm just like, I can't even shake it. It's something that's constantly on my mind. And I'm like, how can I align this? How can something click for someone? I hope I said something tonight that's something where you're like, that's what I've been missing. Your story, your journey, and your results build your business. Why are you here? I know you're not just here for fitness. And I know you're not just here for Shakeology. And that stuff is great. But sometimes we become such an advocate for Shakeology, we forget to become an advocate for ourselves. Sometimes we become such an advocate for bod that we forget to be such an advocate for the team. We don't talk about fitness and nutrition. I was asking a coach yesterday. I was like, okay, tell me, how many times have I helped you with your nutrition? And she was like, not even one time. And I was like, and let's be thankful for that. Let's be thankful that we have people that craft that for you, right? That's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about, let's have some breakthroughs and limitations in life. Let's talk about your happiness, your mental health. Let's talk about your family. Let's talk about how you can feel confident in your skin. Let's talk about your goals. Let's talk about what makes you happy in life. Let's talk about what does your ideal life look like? What is a yes life to you? What is a stress-free life to you? What is that elephant that sits on your chest at night that maybe this business can help you with, this opportunity? That's what we talk about. And once we become an advocate for this type of conversation, you'll invite to the team more. And the team is what's going to build your business. But the team is the best part. That's where we all are right now, and that's where the transformation happens. I just want you to know that I came to this call just going like, let's just talk about whatever everyone needs to hear today. And I just went based on your energy, and I went based on your responses today in the team page. You're bringing it. Could you treat your business like the team challenge throughout the year? Could you take this team challenge and build a team of 4 other people in a message thread and say, hey, for the month of February, we're going to do a team challenge, and create a team challenge. And then that's how you get your coaches to do something. Could you do something like this on a scale that fits your lifestyle right now? I don't just run these things for like a yellow side of me of like, yay, I'm trying to teach you something. Has this been fun? Has this been not as hard? Has it kept you more accountable to the team? I've gotten text messages going, I can't believe I've never showed up to a Saturday chat. I've been missing this. I cannot believe I never hop on calls because this is what you talk about. Whoa. I made excuses because I just wanted to sleep in or go to bed early or do this or do that. I just treated jumping on Zooms like it was my job because it is. And also, it's always filled me up because at the time, that was my only source of positive conversation through the workday. It was my channel to think outside of other things other than grading papers. It was my opportunity to link arms with other people who had bigger dreams, and they weren't just like, I'm good. You know, I'm just going to hit the pause button and just like not do anything else. I wanted to be a part of a conversation of people who wanted to make a movement of confident, healthy, and happy and fit people, a movement of people that just thought, maybe the world needs to hear more positive stories on social media. So I'm going to be brave enough to share mine. That's just what I always think about it. I think we're a part of something so much bigger than what we know. And I just feel like if you believe this, you'll start to treat it a certain way. And then it won't be a burden. This business has never been my burden. It's always been my blessing. It's always been something I've been excited to work, because can we just talk about that this is a free platform that you can build a 6 or 7 figure business. Let's just say you don't even want 6 figures in this. Would an extra $100 a week change and bless your life? $200 a week. You get to do that from a free platform of Facebook and Instagram while getting in the best shape of your life by developing friendships that talk about bigger ideas instead of other people. People forget to celebrate adults. We do it well for children, but yet I'm a part of a team that just constantly celebrates the efforts and actions and feelings and validates others. That's pretty amazing. My friends, this has been so much fun, and I'm so excited for 2020.